class, I would like to say, if you are new on the Officers Adda 247, so download the Adda 247 application as well as subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel so that you can get regular update from our side, right? So let's start today's session. Before to start, there is a one update from our side, that is, our target batch is just going to start within a few days. Like from, if I say from 16th of April, the batch is going to start. So just hurry up and just grab this opportunity, because currently we are just celebrating the Navratri Mahotsav. So you all are going to get the flat 80% off on all the batches. So just please grab this opportunity, because this batch is a very important batch if you are just planning to clear this your JAIIB examination in this upcoming session. Okay, so quickly I just want to tell you like what the facilities, what the features of this batch. Like if you're just enrolling in this batch, you are going to get the 3 physical books, you are going to get the 84 mock test, you are going to get the 82 e-books, as well as the 130 hours live classes where you can directly interact with us. Okay, if you're finding any problem, if you're finding any any problem in any chapter, so you can just clear that. Okay, so your AP class is going to start from the 16th of April, and your PPB and LRB class is going to start from the 18th of April. So I think you should just hurry up and you should just grab this opportunity, and just do not forget to apply the code Y422. With this code you are going to get 80% off, right? Okay, so so let's start today's session, and let's start with our question number first, that is, if there is a overdraft with the bank column of the cash book will show. Okay, before to start, I would like to say, just use your pen and paper, right? And if you're finding anything is important, just pen down that, because whatever I'm delivering here, whatever I'm conveying here, that is a very important from the exam point of view. All right, so first attempt by your side, tell me what would be the answer of this. After that I will explain you what would be the correct answer of this question. Okay, so whenever we're talking about if there is a overdraft with a bank, so what it really means, that anybody can tell me what it means that? So if there is a overdraft, that means loan taken by the bank. Okay, suppose that if we are talking about for any person, that means this person, okay, or say this customer is actually taking the loan from the bank, or you can also say that from any financial institutions, right? So if there is a overdraft with the bank column of the cash book, and cash book, whenever we are talking about the cash book is actually prepared by the customer. All right, so cash book, whenever we are talking about the cash book always of the customer, and the passbook or bank statement, that also of the customer, but it is prepared by the bank, or say it is just reflecting as a whatever the bank is recording, whatever the bank is posting, that transaction is actually reflecting on the passbook. Okay, so if there is a overdraft with the bank column of the cash book will show what? Like when just I explained you, that is cash book and passbook. So cash book, like if you're talking about only the cash book, so on the cash book there are 2 sides, that is the one that is a debit, and another one that is a credit. So on the debit side we actually record the cash receipts. All right, and on the credit side we actually record the cash payments. That means whatever is going to become, or say whatever the cash is going to become in your business, or say in your customer's account. Okay, so that all will be recorded in the debit side, and whatever the payment is going to be out, whatever the cash is going to be out, that would record on the credit side of this cash book. Okay, so we are talking about here cash book. So if there is overdraft with the bank, that means that is, if there is a overdraft with the bank column of the cash book will show the credit balance. The correct answer, that is the credit balance. Okay, I am hoping that everyone just understand, right? So like customer have to just pay the full amount of the whatever he just taken the loan. Okay, so the cash payment is actually just we put, or say we record the transactions on the credit side of the cash book. So this actually reflect the credit balance of the cash book, right? I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. Next question, that related to accounting standards. So which accounting standard relates to revenue recognition? Okay, what we understand by the revenue? Revenue, we can just say, whenever we're talking about the revenue, actually it is understandable as your gross income. Okay, where gross income, which is just which is just rises from the ordinary activities of the business. And the ordinary activities of the business, whenever we are talking about the what are the different ordinary activities of the business, that may be sales of the goods. Okay, that may be your rendering of the services. Okay, that you actually understand as the goods and the services, right? So that is, yeah, that is actually understandable as the sum of the ordinary course of the, or say ordinary course activities of any business, right? So that is the case of your revenue, from where the revenue can generate revenue can generate by the business. Okay, so which accounting standard relates to the revenue recognition? The correct answer, yes, that is accounting standard 9. Very correct. Okay, so till now we actually understand the accounting standard, accounting standard 10 relates to fixed asset, accounting standard 9 relates to your revenue recognition, right? So that is a very important thing that you have to understand. Accounting standard 10, that relates to your fixed assets. Okay, that is also very important to understand. So 9 and 10 we actually understand in this. So accounting standard 9, that relates to your what that relates to revenue recognition. Okay, now another question, that if the balance is stated in a nominal account. Look, in the based on the golden rule of the accounting, if I say what we understand, according to the golden rule of the accounting, like for the nominal account says, because in the nominal account category we actually keep all the expenses, we actually keep all the incomes, we actually keep all the gains, as well as we actually keep the losses of the business. Okay, so in the nominal account category, what components we actually keep under the nominal account category? Expenses, loss, income, gains. Okay, so like these type of the questions you can actually get in the examination. So you have to know what the components we keep on the debit side and what the components we keep on the credit side, right? So if you're talking about this is a debit and this is a credit side, all right? So debit all the expenses and losses, and credit all the income and gains. That we says golden rule of accounting says debit all the expenses and losses and credit all the incomes and gains, right? So if the question is that if the balance is credited in a nominal account, that actually reflecting what? That actually going to reflect the income, right? So the correct answer, that would be your income. That would be your correct answer. So the correct answer, that would be the C for this question. Okay, so I hope that everyone just understanding this. Okay, understand? Next question. Whenever we're talking about the accounts and accounting categories, that are very important topic, as well as a journal entries, that are very favorite and important topic from the exam point of view, because most of the questions you are going to get from that. Okay, so these kind of the questions actually are very important for you, so just understand very well. So which of the following is not a real account? That till now we actually understand accounts are classified in two categories: personal, impersonal. Personal further classified into three categories, right? Like natural, artificial, representative. And the impersonal account classified into real account category as well as a nominal account category, right? So whatever the assets, that means all the assets comes under the real account category. For real account category, in the real account category, whatever the assets we have, that all we put into the real account category, right? So when we are talking about the cash is your asset of your business. Cash can be asset of your business. Yes, absolutely. Cash is a asset of the company. Machinery is also, you understand, that is a fixed asset, all right? So machinery is also the asset of the business. Land, also the asset of the business, right or not? Obviously, right? Okay, but expenses is not a type of the asset. Okay, So the question is, which of the following is not a real account? So you can put whatever, whenever you are talking about the real account, that means whatever that all assets comes under the category of the real account. All right. So whatever we are talking about, like like all the assets comes under the real account category. So cash, machinery, land, that all comes under the real account category. But expenses, that expenses just don't come under the real account category, right? That actually comes under the nominal account category, that we actually discussed in the previous slide, right? So the correct answer, the question is not a real account. So the correct answer, that would be D. Expenses are not the expenses are not a real account category. Okay, so that is the correct answer. Okay. Next question is also important, because in the examination you are going to get a different type of the questions related to your principles. You can also understand as a principle, as well as you can also understand as a concepts, like matching concept, cost concept, dual aspect concept, dual bookkeeping concept. Okay, so there are multiple concepts that you should know about. Okay, one by one we cover everything, just do not worry about that. Okay, so every transactions has two aspects, debit and credit. Okay, and this actually followed by which accounting principle? This statement actually said under which accounting principle? So what would be the answer of this? Just tell me what would be the answer of this. This is pretty much easy question. Just try to tell me what would be the answer of this. So the correct answer, that would be your C, that is dual aspect of principle. That would be the correct answer of this question. I am hoping that everyone just understanding this. Okay, according to the dual aspect principle, we say that every transactions has a two aspects. One is for the debit and another one for the credit. All right, so that is understandable as a dual aspect principle, right? And it you should also understand that it affects the two accounts. Okay, it affects the two accounts. Suppose that you are going to purchase like if you're going to purchase a furniture for your business, and for the cash. Okay, so that means there would be two accounts included, one account that is furniture, and the second account that is cash account. And furniture account would be debit and cash account would be credit. For what reason? Because cash account actually relates to your real account category, and for the real account category we says that debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So cash, like in this case, like cash is just going out, so that's why the cash would be credited and furniture account would be the debited. Okay, so we will understand this on while we are just going to solve the general entry questions. Okay, so I think it is understandable for everyone. Okay, next question is, as per the cash book there is a overdraft of the 5,000. Okay, so just stop here. Okay, what I said, like how to solve the questions of the bank reconciliation statement in the examination. Whenever the cash book balance is given, you have to understand, whenever the cash book balance is given, you just have to write here passbook, and after that second step, that make the table like this, cash book and passbook. Okay, if it is a passbook here written, that means just encircle here, the passbook. Okay, for the comparison and nothing else. So as per the cash book, there is a overdraft of the 5,000 rupees. So whenever we're talking about the overdraft, that means it would always come with a negative figure. That means customer is actually taking the loan from the bank. All right. So if there is an overdraft of the 5,000 rupees, that means this would become with the negative figure, that is a 5,000 rupees. All clear for everyone? Okay. So we can write here 5,000 rupees. Now just tell me what would be the answer of this. I just want 100% participation on this question. Just tell me what would be the answer of this. Look, here cash book, there is an overdraft of 5,000 rupees given. That's why we have just taken with a negative figure, that 5,000 rupees, and bank recovers commission of the 400 rupees. Okay, what it means that bank actually bank actually cut 400 rupees, but customer is not aware of that transaction. That's why we are just making the bank reconciliation statement, isn't it? Okay, that's why there is a mismatch occurring between the cash book balance and the passbook balance, right? So bank recover commission of the 400 rupees. That means in the bank statement this 400 rupees will be deducted, but in the cash book, because customer is not aware of that transactions on that date, okay, so that's why in the cash book there is a there would be reflecting this amount as a zero. So now the role of this in circle is like we have to compare the passbook to the cash book. How? We have to see that passbook balance is lesser than or greater than the cash book. So your answer that would be passbook balance is a lesser than the cash book. And if it is lesser than the cash book, that means it would come with a negative figure. And how much amount? That would be the 400. So your answer that would be 5,400 rupees. That would be your answer, right? Absolutely correct. Okay. So that would be your correct answer. The correct answer that would be the C, that is 5,400 rupees. Okay. I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this. Okay. The same step you have to follow and nothing else. If the cash book balance is given, so just write passbook and just make the table like this. And for comparison, like you have to compare the cash book to the passbook, or you have to compare the passbook to the cash book. So you just have to know. Okay, so that's why we actually encircle this, right? Okay, understandable for everyone. Okay, next question. This type of the questions in the examination, you are definitely going to get the 2 marks, and for that actually your basic should be strong. Okay, so suppose that this kind of the questions in the examination you are going to get, like sales book was undercast by the 2,000 rupees. Okay, tell me one thing, that if like in the question the sales is given, okay, so sales what generate? Sales generating the revenue for the company, right? Like we understand, like ordinary course of the activities, there are like goods and services provided by the business. From that actually the revenue arises for any business, right? So sales is actually generating the revenue, and we can also say that that is generating the income for the company. All right. Okay, so if it is a portion of the trial balance, okay, so in the trial balance, whenever we are talking about the debit and credit side, so we have to understand that total of the debit side will be equal to the total of the credit side. That is actually the purpose of the trial balance. Okay, so that means all the debit balance should be equal to the credit balance, right? Understandable for everyone till here? Everything is understandable. Okay, so after that we have to know that, like in the cash book, I explained that is in the cash book what components we keep on the debit side and what components we keep on the credit side. Same as we have to know that what components we have to keep on the debit side and what components we have to keep on the credit side. So just understand that while making the trial balance, all the assets we keep on the debit side, all the expenses we keep on the credit side, debit side, right? While all the liabilities we keep on the credit side, all the income we keep on the credit side, all the gains we keep on the credit side. That is a very important thing that you have to understand for the trial balance. Okay, now the very important thing that you have to understand, that if the sale book was undercast by 2,000 rupees, now the word, what is the mean by the undercast? Whenever you record the transactions below the actual value, that it is then it is understandable as a undercast. Okay, that means suppose that for example, if I'm talking about, suppose that you have to write 5,000 rupees on the sales side, but by mistake you actually record that transaction as a 3,000 rupees. That means now I am asking you that how much you undercast that record, how much you undercast that transaction. So your answer that would be 2,000. That's it. That is actually the meaning of the undercast. Okay, so whenever we're talking about the sales book was undercast by 2,000 rupees, that means this is we actually record the transactions below or say just lower than its actual value. All right. So now in the question, if the total of the credit side of the trial balance that is showing the 30,000 rupees. Okay, so just tell me, this is 30,000 rupees that is showing, and the income would also be, we write here, okay, and income by mistake we actually just we actually just undercast by 2,000 rupees. That means the credit balance, or say the credit balance, should be 32,000 rupees. That would be your correct answer. Okay. And like in the different way the question may be asked in the examination, like what would be the debit balance. Okay, suppose that this like sales book was undercast by 2,000 rupees, and the total of the credit side this so and so. Okay, and you have to just tell what would be the debit balance of this. Okay, so how you can calculate this? The same way you have to tell. Okay, because you have to find out the correct balance. Okay, so for that like this you are going to solve these kind of the questions. Okay, I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. Now the question that is related to bill of exchange, and that is a very important topic from exam point of view, because from that you actually going to get 2 marks questions, 1 marks questions, as well as a half marks questions. All questions you are going to get from this single chapter. And in the 2 marks questions, like you are going to get the questions that related to your, like how to make the debit and credit transactions. That thing actually we have to understand in the lectures. Okay, so that is also important. But in the bill of exchange, the very important thing that you have to understand, there are actually 3 parties involved. One party that is known as a door, also known as a maker. Let me just erase all of the things here. Okay. Whenever we are talking about the bill of exchange, so there are actually 3 parties involved. One party that is known as a door, another party that is known as the drawee, and the another party that is known as a pay. So if drawer is going to endorse any name, that is known as a pay. Okay, that is known as an endorsement, because technically drawer is going to receive the payment from the drawee. Okay, and suppose a drawer is just nominated any person, okay, for just receiving this payment in the bill of exchange, so that person is actually known as a payee. Okay, so that is the cycle of the bill of exchange. And what exactly happened? Actually the drawer just maker of the bill of exchange. Drawer would be the maker of the bill of exchange, and the like if the drawer just making the bill of exchange, and that bill of exchange actually sent to the drawee for accepting. Okay, so what he do, that he sent the bill of exchange by making the drawer. Okay, and he sent to this bill of exchange to the drawee. Drawee is generally understandable as a debtor for the bill of exchange, or say debtor for this drawer. Okay, because he actually just took a goods on the credit, or say he purchased a goods on the credit, or say any services from the drawer, so that's why he just known as a debtor, right? I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. After that, what you have to understand here, that if the drawee just signs the bill, okay, if the drawee, whatever the bill of exchange just received by the drawee, so that means if the drawee just signed this bill, that means it will considered as the accepted. That would be your correct answer for this question. Okay, so I'm hoping that everyone just understand this. If the drawee just signs the bill, that means this would be considered as accepted, or you can also say that it would be considered as an acceptance of the debt. Okay, so bill of exchange is actually nothing but it is a proof of debt. Okay, and if it is accepted by the drawee, that means it will considered as an acceptance of the debt. That's it. All right. Now next is also important, and there is a one difference between the bill of exchange. There is a one major difference between the bill of exchange and promissory note. That in the bill of exchange actually 3 parties involved, but in the promissory note there are only 2 parties. Okay, so if there are 3 parties in the bill of exchange involved, so bill of exchange actually contains an unconditional what. Okay, and promissory note contains an unconditional what we have to tell. Okay, So it is very simple to understand. Look, in the bill of exchange actually draws orders to the drawee, okay, for the payment of whatever the goods and services taken by the, like, taken on the credit by the drawee, okay. So it is bill of exchange actually contains an unconditional order. Bill of exchange contains an unconditional order to pay, while promissory note contains an unconditional promise to pay. Okay, so that is also very important. Another difference, there are 3 parties and 2 parties. That another difference between this. So the correct answer, that is C, and I hope everyone just understand this why it is. So bill of exchange actually contains an unconditional order, and promissory note contains an unconditional promise to pay. Okay, understandable for everyone, right? Next question. Find the due date of bill of exchange dated 9th of December 2021, payable after 45 days. So what would be the correct answer? This is also very important question. And you look, some questions, like some questions are definitely going to come in your examination, so you have to understand pretty well, because these kind of the questions you are definitely going to get in the exam, where you have to just find out the due date of bill of exchange. Okay, the very important thing that you have to understand, whenever any bill of exchange whenever any bill of exchange just make and it is accepted by the drawee, okay, so whenever if the bill of exchange, like, due date is mentioned also, suppose the due date mentioned is the 9th of December, okay, and it is payable after 45 days, all right, okay. So like, whenever its due date, like, whenever you are just the due date is just considered as the date when drawee have to make payment to the drawer, or say the acceptor have to make the payment to the maker. Acceptor who just accept the debt, or say accept the bill of exchange by signing the bill, right? So due date is the date when actually debtor have to make the payment to the creditor, right? So that is due date. But in the bill of exchange, actually you have to add the 3 grace periods. 3 grace period, or say 3 grace days, okay, rather say 3 grace period, we all say that it is just 3 grace days, which is also given, that is actually calculated from the due date plus 3 days, okay. So that is due date plus 3 days. So suppose that find the due date, the bill of exchange dated 9th of December. So whenever you have to calculate, so you will calculate after, like the bill of exchange date is given, that is 9th of December. That means you have to calculate the day from the 10th of December, okay. And we know that December is a month of the 31 days, right? December is the month of the 31 days. So that means 10 to 31 days, 31st of December, if we are going to calculate, so this would be your 22 days, right? So that means 22 days already there is a past, and we have to just find out the due date, right? So it would be payable after 45 days. That means if we just add here 23, that means 23 of January, that would be the due date for the bill of exchange. But we also have to add here 3 grace period. So after adding the 3 grace period, that means now due date would be the 26th of January. But 26th of January actually considered as a public holiday, okay. So whenever any case where the public holiday is just occurring on the due date, that means the payment should be made before the public holiday, or say before the 1 day, okay, before the public holiday, or say before 1 day before the public holiday. So the correct answer, that would be the 25th of January 2022. That would be your correct answer of this question. I'm hoping that everyone just understand this, okay. So whenever like after adding 3 days, and if the due date is just occurring on the public holiday, okay, so there you actually have to make payment 1 day before the like due date plus 3 grace period, or say 1 day before the public holiday. Okay, so that would be your correct answer for this 25th of January 2022. So that would be your correct answer of this question. All right, so I'm hoping that everyone just understand this concept. Okay, so now again I want to say that just enroll in the batches, and do not forget to just do not forget to apply the code Y422. With this code you actually are going to get the 80% off, and if you are just enrolling through the website, so you will get the 1% extra off. So just do not miss this opportunity. And I want to say, I want to say that if you're liking our effort, liking our content, do not forget to like this video, share this video to your friends and your colleagues. Okay, so that max a number of our bankers and colleagues can join with us in this journey. Okay, and comment like how's the session is. Okay, okay. So thank you for everyone. Thank you for joining me here.